In recent years, we've seen big labor on the march throughout the nation. In places like New Jersey, California, and most notably Wisconsin, the greed of unions inspires them to pull out all the stops opposing meaningful government reform. But while the public sector gets all the attention, big labor is also attempting to wreak havoc in the private sector. And the consequences for the economy could be catastrophic. To understand the scale of the threat, we need to look no further than the current danger that unions pose to the future of American Airlines. At one time, American was the nation's model air carrier. While other airlines repeatedly faced bankruptcy or mergers during economic downturns or the aftermath of the 9/11 attacks, American alone was able to survive intact. That trend, however, came to an end last year when the airline was forced to file Chapter 11 bankruptcy. How was such a successful carrier driven to such financial depths? The answer lies largely in Americans' astronomical labor costs, which eat up nearly 30% of the company's revenues, an industry high. Needless to say, those costs were the result of contracts negotiated by big unions, contracts that set up an inevitable decline. Today, American Airlines is attempting to navigate to recovery, using the bankruptcy restructuring process to make sure that its future costs will be reasonable enough to ensure a viable business model going forward. And unsurprisingly, big labor is fighting them at every turn. Rather than working with American to ensure the company's long-term health, 3 of American's major unions have colluded to strong-arm American into merger negotiations with U.S. Airways. The reason? Because U.S. Airways is promising them the same cushy pay and benefits they previously enjoyed, the very pay and benefits that drove American Airlines into bankruptcy and would inevitably do the same again. The results of the unions getting their way could be disastrous, and it would likely ensure that the airline would face financial troubles for years to come, putting at risk the jobs of the very workers the unions are supposed to be protecting. In short, the airline industry would be repeating the very same mistakes made by the Detroit auto industry, with prolonged economic suffering as the inevitable result. Big labor has revealed itself to be a financial vampire, and now that they've nearly sucked the life out of American Airlines, they're hoping to move on to a new target. For the sake of American, the company's tens of thousands of employees and its customers throughout America and the world, let's hope they don't get that chance. That's this week's Freedom Minute.